Good.
All right. So today we are here, second episode of the A.S.K podcast, and we have
I'm Zoe.
Zoe is here with us. Zoe is also a UNC student here. So how's your experience in Korea been?
It's pretty good.
Good.
Yeah. I think it's like very different from like US college experience, I
Yeah,
think. But like
definitely.
I'm having a good time. I don't like miss home that much, so
Me
it's
neither.
good.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been good. Honestly, I'm like, we only got a month left. I'm kind of sad, but it's at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like, I don't know. I miss the people, but I don't really miss like, other than the people, like I'd stay here, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's been your favorite like food spot?
I really like Japanese food more than Korean food, but there's like one pork cutlet place called like White Tiger Pork Cutlet. I think it's like the best restaurant in Annam. But like out of all of Seoul, I don't know. I've been to like a lot of places. I can't remember. But yeah, everything is like really cheap and usually like
Yeah.
pretty good. So
It is very true.
eating out is nice.
Yeah, compared to back home, it's like what you pay for like 2 meals for
I
a
know.
day is like what you pay for one back home.
Especially like in New York, like every single meal is like at least $20. But
crazy.
like I don't cook at all here. Like I eat out for every single meal. Like I would not be able to do that
That's
at
real.
home.
I have not cooked once. I told myself
Yeah.
when I was leaving, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cook like every now and then, like I did in the summer. Haven't touched a pot or a pan since I've been here, but it's been worth it though. I would say I go low key. I go to like the same spots. It's either kebab.
I haven't been there.
You haven't tried Adana
No,
kebab?
I
It's
need to
literally
try
right
it.
there. No way. Low key kebab like 3-4 times a week
Wow.
requirement. But yeah, kebab. Then what else? Kebab. McDonald's every now and then. I mean, it's American, but
Yeah.
the McDonald's here is low key good compared to back home. It's way better.
really?
Yeah, it's way better.
I went to Shake Shack the other day, but I didn't get like the bulgogi burger. I just got like a regular burger.
Yeah,
I need to try it.
It's good quality. Okay, it's kind of like that's like one of the few places that's not even cheaper than the US. It's like the same price.
Yeah.
But Uzi coffee, I get the Oreo frappe.
Yeah.
Is that milk tea shake good?
It was like okay. It was like a lot. Like
Yeah.
after I drank the whole thing, I felt like kind of sick. But I really like milk tea. That's like my go-to order at any cafe here.
That's fire. I low-key need to go to more cafes. I went to one in Dongmyo with Jacob the other day, and we just sat there studying. It's like I need to get outside of Annam.
Yeah.
I low-key don't explore a lot. I need to.
I think, do you know like Anguk? It's by like Bukchon Hanok Village. They have like a ton of cafes. Like the famous ones like Artist Bakery,
Yeah.
whatever, Bagelland, London Bagel Museum are there. I went there last night and got yogurt. It was really good.
Fire. Yeah, like I've been going to those spots a lot. What's been like what's been like the biggest difference though, like compared to like home, like aside from food, obviously.
I don't know. I feel like the classes are very different.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's, I don't know. I mean, I technically haven't experienced like college classes in the
true.
US, but definitely like my high school classes were more about like participation, whereas here it's like you just like sit and listen. So
It's
like,
true.
I don't know. It can get like a little bit boring at times, but I also think that the tests are like a lot easier. I don't know. Like at least for my classes, like we all got like a cheat sheet and like the practice exams were like really similar. So I just like wrote everything down and I did like well. So
That's fire.
it was
That's
good.
fire. Yeah, for me, low key, yeah, definitely like not having homework and tests like every week is like a
Yeah, it's
a
like
huge
weird.
difference because it's like you think like, oh, this class is mad easy, and then you get the test and it's
yeah.
just like you haven't studied because it's like your homework and your quizzes like help you know where you are in the class, but like you think you're doing so well just because you don't have any homework or test. But I mean, I did all right on my midterms. Some of the tests were hard. Some of them there were like cheat sheets or like open book tests. But yeah, it's a huge difference from back home.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good thing, but it's also like it's not like the best prep for when we get back because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when we get back, it's gonna be like
Maybe really different.
yeah.
Like more
But
intense. I think.
are you excited to go back?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm like worried about the amount of work. Like all I've been
Yeah.
hearing from my friends at home are like, I have so much work. Like it's so terrible. I'm up till like 2 a.m. doing homework. So I
That's
don't really
true.
want to like live that life. But like I'm excited to go to UNC and like meet more people. So
That's fire.
it'll
That's
be
fire.
fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to like joining like clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff. What clubs are you thinking of joining? You know?
I don't know. I
That's
I just
fair.
know I want to join a lot. I want to, I don't know, try out, do some like intramural or maybe like club sports if I can get on.
Fire. It's
But,
fire. Oh yeah, Zoe is a track star.
no,
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
my
ran.
track career was so short-lived.
What? How many years did you run track?
I ran like 3 years or something.
That's pretty
It was
long.
not.
I only played soccer for like 3 years in high school, but I still love soccer.
Yeah.
That's good though. That's good. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try and do like a lot of culture clubs, and definitely some intramural sports, just like beach volleyball.
Yeah, yeah.
I really want to do beach volleyball, but it's like super competitive apparently.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm yawning a lot.
It's okay.
Getting no sleep, but I low-key do it to myself. But yeah. So like, all right. So this is obviously like more of a religious, like faith-based podcast type of thing. So we're gonna talk more about VeggieTales later, but you did bring up VeggieTales one day.
Oh.
Did you watch VeggieTales as a kid?
I like watched like VeggieTales, but I'm not like religious.
Okay.
I don't know why I watched
That's
VeggieTales.
fine. No, I love VeggieTales growing up.
But I used to have like one, like the Wizard of Oz parody
Yeah.
one. I had it on DVD and I watched it like all the time.
That's fire.
But yeah.
I love VeggieTales. I watched VeggieTales for so many years. Honestly, I didn't stop watching VeggieTales until like maybe like fourth grade. It was kind of bad. It was kind of bad, but I absolutely loved VeggieTales. Okay, so so the first like I guess like obviously you said you're not religious, which is perfectly fine. That's like the whole point of like why we have this is because it's good to see like different perspectives. So I guess the first thing is like, how do you feel or, well, I guess the basic question, you already answered it, but like kind of elaborate more. Are you a Christian? If not, then why not? And if so, then why, you know?
Like my family is technically Christian. I was never like baptized.
Okay.
My grandparents are like kind of religious, but my parents are like not at all.
Okay.
So like the only time I went to church, I haven't been in like quite a few years though. It was on like Christmas or Easter.
Okay.
But like other than that, I didn't really like
Not
get
really.
involved with it. But like I think it's just like my parents
Your family.
didn't like push that on me, so like
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's true.
ever thought of like being religious or something like that.
That's true. Yeah, I would say like a huge factor for like your faith or what you grow up believing is like really your parents. Like obviously like we're old enough to make our own decisions now, but it like most of it starts with what you're raised with. Like for
Yeah.
me, I was a complete opposite. My dad's a pastor, so I was
Oh, yeah.
never missed a Sunday unless something happened. But yeah, like I definitely. But even with that though, like the funny thing is like a lot of times, I don't know if you've heard like the pastor kid stereotypes and stuff like that, but a lot of times like even when you're raised in that, it kind of makes you, I don't know, because like when you grow up, like that's all you know type of thing. So it kind of makes you like want to do it less because it's like, okay, I've been doing this for God knows how many years. You know, like now I want to try other things, you know, that type of thing. So like, how would you feel? Do you feel like it's something that you're like, obviously you haven't been exposed to it. Is it something that you're like open to looking into or like, cause like a lot of people like at this age, like they kind of like, okay, they don't think much about religion, but they're like, okay, maybe I should try this or maybe I should try that. Like, how do you feel about that?
I guess I'm like open to it. Like I have no problem with like people being religious. But, like I don't really see for myself like becoming very religious. I don't know. I feel like there's like a lot of good that can be taken like from the Bible and like lessons and stuff like that. But I think there's also like it can be interpreted in like bad ways, especially for like women and other like you know, marginalized groups, I think.
Yeah.
But like But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
That's a really good point. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I think the big thing, like the word, like religion, like in most cases, it doesn't always have the best like context to it, like connotation to it. Like you hear religion and you kind of, like to me, when I hear the word religion, I kind of think of more of a like a restricted guideline of life. You know what I mean? So like for me, like I feel like I kind of like I definitely agree with you like now, but like for most of my life, the way I saw religion or like Christianity specifically was just like a set of rules, a set of do's and don'ts. And I think that most people our age, why they don't really want to get into religion is because it's like a big commitment. And it's like we're young. So it's
Yeah.
like why commit to all this or commit to this way of life or this set of what to do and not to do, if I'm still trying to figure out what to do, if I'm still trying to figure out like my life. I feel like the best way to look at it though, like for me, like as a Christian, I would say like the concept of religion versus faith. You know what I mean? Like, or how would you like define faith? Like, what do you think about when you hear the word like faith?
I guess like in terms of Christianity, just
Yeah.
like believing in God. I don't know, just like devoting, whatever.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty simple way to put it. Yeah, because it's like I feel like faith, like when you look at faith in terms of like not just spiritually, but like having faith in your friends, having faith in yourself, having faith in your abilities. But yeah, like not. I feel like Christianity's kind of put in like that bottle of religion because the way it's pushed out, like so many people that will try and win you over or try and convince you about God, kind of push it as just religion instead of the root of it, which is faith, which is love, like the good things that we know that we need to have, whether you're a Christian or not. Like it's good to live in love, to be kind, to live in faith and stuff like that. And so I think for me, like the concept of faith, like has like been like a motivating factor. Like one of the things like I was talking in the last podcast about was like what drives you or like what motivates you. Like what do you think? What would you say like motivates you?
I don't know. I think like my own like ambition, I guess, like I don't want to like live a like boring life or just like let life like pass me by. Like I want to be like active and like sort of like make my own choices and like whether those are good or bad, like face the consequences. Like, yeah.
That's a good point. Ambition is a huge, especially being young, like ambition's like a really, I mean, it's a good thing to have, but it's also like a really important like driving factor. Like for me, I would say probably the same thing, ambition. Obviously like you have like your bigger goals in life. Like for me, like obviously making my family proud, making my family happy. But then I don't know if you saw the interviews I did.
Oh, I don't think I did.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. But like the interviews, like I asked like kind of like the like whole like or I think Bella brought it up in a joke, like the meaning of life question that I like kept asking.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those.
So,
The ones that you do on the street.
yeah. So she asked about that, but it's like I think like for me, like in terms of that question, like what drives me and like purpose and everything is kind of like the concept of faith or the concept of love. Like you mentioned earlier, like there are some things in religion that kind of go against like certain groups or kind of don't, people take context of the Bible and twist it against certain groups of people. But the thing is that a lot of times, I don't know how you feel about it. I feel like a lot of times, like even as a Christian, a lot of Christians miss the concept of like, obviously we tell people you're supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that according to the word of God. But we miss the concept of love. Like that's the root of the Bible. Like like if you don't have love, if you don't love everybody, regardless of who they are, what ethnicity, what group, what sexuality they are, like you kind of like missing the point of love, So I think that's like a really important like concept to have is like understanding love first. Because if I don't know how to put it. I feel like a lot of times like even before I started like really taking my faith seriously, it kind of felt like a lot of the people that would tell me about God were kind of just like, you can't do this, you can do that, instead of like just talking about how much God loves you first, Like, I don't know, you say you've been to church a few times, like, how do you feel about like the concept of like love and stuff like that in Christianity? Or like your personal experience with it per chance?
I think it's like good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like I said, I think there's like a lot of like good lessons that can be like brought from the Bible, like, you know, loving thy neighbor and like
Yeah, yeah.
loving everyone. So I think that's like good. In church, I don't know. I don't like remember that much.
That's good.
All I did was like got up to like sing whatever
That's
Christmas
fun. That's fun.
carols and stuff.
That's
But
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like it's the basis of everything. Like you said, like the Bible has a lot of good points. Like whether you're a Christian or not, like if you like take any time, like if you just decide to like look into the Bible, like there's so many like good things you can learn from it, just to be a better person. Not necessarily to become a Christian immediately, but just to be like who God wants you to be, or just to be like a better person to make the world around you better. I feel like that's a really important thing.
Yeah.
So I guess the next thing is like in terms of like I don't know, give like a little breakdown of so we talked about faith and like love and all that, but give like a you talked about like how sometimes like you feel it's good, but there's also like the bad part. Could you like elaborate more on like what you like
Like
the
I think especially right now, like a lot of people are using like Christianity to sort of justify like I don't know, things that the government are doing.
yeah.
Like right now, the argument against abortion or same-sex marriage, like all I don't think it's like a good thing to really like draw from the Bible to like argue against those things. Like we're supposed to be built on like separation of like church and state.
Yeah.
Like I have no problem if like people are religious, but like if it's interfering into like other people's lives, then I think it can be like harmful. So
That's a good point.
yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, definitely like there's a whole lot of controversy going on with like all this stuff, especially with the government and Trump and all that.
Yeah.
I was yeah, that's definitely like I think a lot of things I've seen on social media, like a lot of people a lot like the Bible is good and the purpose of it is good, but I think a lot of times because we either don't take time to read it enough or just because like as Christians it's like, oh, if the Bible has all this knowledge and if the Bible is good and all is right, then I can take this. And a lot of people while taking things for their arguments, they twist it, you know, and
Yeah.
like you talked about like certain things like same-sex marriage and abortion, all that. And so or even like the way like the government is handling certain things like immigration and stuff like that. Like obviously this is not a political podcast, I don't want to get into all
Yeah.
that, but definitely it's definitely good to know or to understand that like I talked about, it all comes back to love. Like the root of the gospel or the root of everything or the root of the Bible is about love, you know, because I mean, whether you're Christian or not, I feel like, or for me, the way I look at it, you know, like we all know like the basics, like, oh yeah, Jesus died on the cross, you know, to save our sins, to save us from our sins and stuff like that. But that all comes down to love, you know, like he didn't have to do that, you know. Like I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of Christians miss is like, okay, I'm taking this from the Bible to argue this point, but I'm missing the fact that regardless of what this person is doing or what they believe, I'm supposed to love them first, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that type of controversy has become like a huge dividing cause, like in the world we live in today. Like, I don't know. It's really become something that if you're not careful about, if you don't like actually understand the Bible, if you don't like take time to know it, that you can get lost in, you know. But for me, I would feel like in terms of like spiritually, like in terms of like let's say Christianity or just like morals in general, like what do you think is like the best approach to like that type of stuff?
To like morals.
Yeah.
I like let me think. I took like a lot of philosophy
Yeah, I
classes in
know.
senior year.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I read like a lot of Plato and like his like main thing is like all which I think is like very similar with Christianity. Like
Yeah.
there's like one like right way to be or like there's like a set of morals that's like applicable to everyone in the world.
Yeah.
And like I believe that. I think that there is like some things that are like always true, like no matter what. I don't know if we've like found those exact things yet.
Yeah, that's
but I
true.
think that there is like a certain way that you should like always act, like no matter like who you are, like I don't know, don't be like mean to someone
Yeah,
else or
yeah,
like
the
oh shit,
basics.
I just kicked it. But yeah, I also like Sartre, this like philosopher. His like main point is like existentialism. So it's about like sort of like making your own way rather than like believing in destiny, kind of. That's like how I interpret it. But
Yeah.
like I think that like really resonated with me because like I feel like I don't know, at least in like some branches of Christianity, I know there's like some things like you're destined to go to like heaven or hell. I forget what that is like.
Yeah, there's like it's like some specific
Yeah.
branches of Christianity or faith kind of like believe that based on what you do, like you're like when you're born or like as you live your life, like no matter what, you're going to heaven
Yeah.
or no matter what, you're going to hell, which is a really controversial topic. But I do think like a lot of that comes from like a lack, like we talk about like twists in the Bible.
Yeah.
Because it's like you mentioned, like the principles, like the philosophy, which I honestly, I'm low-key trying to get into a philosophy class because I feel like
you
that would
should.
like, I feel like
It's really
like,
interesting.
yeah, like yeah, I
And
really,
definitely like a lot of it is like taken from the Bible. Like
yeah,
I read like Matthew something, like the Ten Commandments anyway. But like a lot of like Western philosophy is like based on the Bible or based on these like ancient Greek philosophers. So I think
Yeah.
that there's like a lot you can take from that. But what I was saying is like I feel like I'm like a strong believer in like free will.
Yeah.
I know that like some people are like
Yeah.
too jaded to think that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, I feel
But like I feel like otherwise, like what am I doing? Like if
Yeah.
I don't have free will, then like why am I like doing anything if I'm just like destined to like end up some way?
That's
So,
true. That's
yeah.
true. That's a very good point. So, and the good thing about that, like I'm not trying to like twist everything to be spiritual, but
No.
like the thing about God is God made us to have free will. God did not make us and say you are going to end up here. You're not gonna like nobody from birth is destined to go to a certain place because where we end up, I mean, I know that I don't know if you heard like people say like, oh, if I'm a good person, if I do this, if I do that, if I do this right, I'm going to go to heaven. But like the reality of it is nobody is born destined for hell or nobody is born destined to go to heaven or nobody just because of the great things they do all throughout their life is destined to go to heaven because the thing is God has a standard like you talked about free will because here's like you wouldn't want someone to like you or care about you based on the fact that you make them, like if someone says they love you, then that should be out of free will, because they have a choice to love you, right? And so if God made us like robots and we're destined to go to this place, we have to do this, we have to do that, we can't do this, then if we say we love God or we love Jesus, it wouldn't be real, you know what I mean? It's just like you're forced to say that you love someone just so you can end up getting something. You can end up getting somewhere instead of it being genuine love, which is like, regardless of what goes on, you still care about that person. And so that's like that goes back to the concept of like love. Like, even though we're given free will by God, like there's certain ways. And like, I feel like most people dodge Christianity or dodge faith because it's like, oh, if I give my life to God, I'm losing my free will type of thing. But I feel like the best way to look at it is like when we're young and we're trying to explore and we're trying to like ultimately trying to find who we are, find our identity as young people. Like the best way to look at it is you have to try new things, in order to find your identity. You know what I mean? Like, cause you never know. Like for me, like I would say like if somebody asks me who I am or like things they need to know about me, I'm gonna talk about my culture. I'm gonna talk about how much I love soccer. I'm gonna talk about how much I love God and stuff like that. And it's like you don't really know what would become part of your identity until you give it a try. You know what I mean? Like for example, with sports, like I started playing soccer a few years ago. I always loved soccer, but I didn't care much for it. But it's like now, like soccer is a huge part of my life, even though I'm not like going on to play like college or pro or anything. It's like if somebody asks about me, like soccer is going to be in the conversation somewhere, So I feel like instead of, I feel like for me, like the approach to life, the moral concept is like giving it a try. You know what I mean? Like, okay, worst case scenario, you try a certain religion and it just doesn't work for you, or it doesn't feel genuine, it doesn't feel like you connect with it, then you move on, right? But I feel like the best way to look at it is like you give it a try, because what you may not know, like you don't know, but what you're trying may become like a huge part of you. Like, would you say like you had any like examples of that?
Yeah, actually. In like fifth grade, I really hated my Spanish teacher. So when I got to middle school, we had the option to like take a bunch of different languages.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really don't want to take Spanish. So I just randomly chose to take Chinese. And that's become like one of my like lifelong passions. I think like I learned it starting from sixth grade. I'm gonna be like double majoring in Chinese in
good.
college. So
That's really
yeah.
good. Yeah,
But
that's really good. That's fire. Yeah, I need to learn another language. I feel like Korean has to,
really,
like I feel like Korean's my next best option. I'm gonna try and take Korean classes if I could get
yeah.
them. But yeah, like you said, like kind of like an experience you had, and you just give something new a try, and now like that's become a huge part of you. That's become something you're passionate about. So like the same way with like faith, like funny enough, despite the fact that I was raised as a Christian, like all these years, I honestly did not believe in God until like the beginning of this year. You know, I believed in God. I knew God was real, but it was kind of just like there was no personal like connection to it, because it was just like, okay, like my parents are always talking about God, always talking about this, but it's like, what does that have to do with me? Like I'm young, I want to go have fun, I want to experience life. And but like what made me really like come to that conclusion that like it's important to have that ground of faith is like it keeps you rooted. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, like especially as young people, like you don't know what to expect. Like there's curveballs, there's so many different things that go on in your life. And for me, the best thing that like has helped me with that is like the concept of faith. You know what I mean? Because if you don't believe in anything, if you don't have any like deep reason why you do things, if you don't have any motivation or like passion beyond like just like what's around you, then like I feel like you can often get lost. You know what I mean? Like it's like a, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a good analogy for it. But it's like it's just like I think like even in the Bible, like there's a story about a man who two people who were building houses, right? So one of them, the foundation was he built his house, like a really nice house, but it was built like on like kind of like a shore area. Like no, he didn't lay any rock foundation, sand and everything. And so there's another guy who built in the same area, but he put down stones as a foundation, right? And so obviously like storms came, you know, horrible, let's say a horrible hurricane came or whatever. And obviously, as you can expect, the house that stood was the one that had the foundation, right? So I feel like or wait, before I explain how I feel, how do you like, what do you, I don't know if have you ever heard that story in the Bible?
Yeah.
You've had, okay. So like, how do you feel like, what would you like, what's your interpretation of that story?
I think it's obviously about having like deeper beliefs and not
Yeah.
just like surface level sort of I don't know, foundation of thoughts or like stuff like that. But having like a deeper meaning for like doing what you do. And obviously like if I was Christian, I would interpret that as like believing in God. But
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I feel like that's kind of what I was gonna say. But yeah, just not doing stuff just because, you know, like you talked about like the concept of free will, like you're a big believer in free will. So it's just like that for you, that's like a huge motivator and like why you do stuff, why you go explore, why you go do all these stuff, why you go try all these new things, which I need to do. I need to go to Sungsu. But anyways, yeah, like why you do the things that you do is because you have like that deeper meaning of I am made to be free. I'm made to explore, you know, to be young, to enjoy my life, to enjoy my youth, you know. And I think that's a really good point in terms of like beliefs, because like if you don't have like any sort of ground for why you do things, like a lot of people lose a lot of their morals, especially at this time, like in college. Like you go to college and you're exposed to so many new things, and the things that you've always held close to you, if you don't have a foundation of any sort, like you kind of lose it. Like some people will say, oh, I'm not going to do this, or they spend their whole life saying, like, for example, like a pretty cliche example, some people say I don't drink, for example. obviously there's nothing wrong with drinking. Like me personally, I don't really drink, but I mean, it just depends on why you do what you do. But a lot of people will get to college, and because there's just no why, there's no like, okay, why don't you drink? And it's just like, oh, I just don't, like when it comes down to it, like pressure in certain situations, and they find themselves doing the very things that they said they wouldn't do, so I think like having a why, like for me, like I would say my biggest why is just like my faith, it's like, because I feel like even like aside from spiritually, like it's made me a better person. Like it's made me nicer. It's made me like look at life in a different way, be more positive instead of like looking at the bad side of everything and being a mean person and stuff like that. So like having that why is like super, like it's been like a super big thing for me. Like how's that been like for you, or like with college and everything?
I don't know. I feel like I I don't know. I have to think about it. But like I don't think of myself as like generally like a bad person.
Yeah, of course not. Definitely not. Zoe is a great person. She's a wonderful person.
I need to think about it. I mean, I don't like I do like drink or like whatever.
No.
But
That's fine. Everybody loves to turn up.
Yeah.
Turn up.
I don't know.
It doesn't have to be
Cut
like
out the part when I'm thinking.
it doesn't have to be like a specific example like drinking, but just like that concept of like your why and stuff like that, and like how that affects what you do, your decisions.
I think it's just like for my own life, like you talked about like being a positive person. Like I really hate like negative people.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. Like especially like if I just feel like I need to like make the best of the situation
Yeah.
because if I'm like spreading like negativity as well, like it eventually like it comes back to like your own mindset, and I think it can like change how you like look at the world as well. Like even just once just saying like, oh, I hate this so much, or like I can't do this, like just try. I don't know. It's just like eventually those like words, they start becoming true. Like
That's really good. Yeah. Like even the Bible does say like there's power in like the words you say, like life or death, there's life or death. I think the Bible says something like there's life or death in the tongue, so like you can speak good things into a situation, you can speak life into a situation, or you can look at it the wrong way and speak bad things into a situation, and that becomes reality. And funny enough, I feel like for most of my life, I was kind of that negative person. I hate to say it, but it's like I complain so much. Like I think being here has really helped me realize like I have so much to be grateful for. Like just the opportunity to be here, and like I have all these like fun opportunities, like being here with such great people and meeting new people. It's like I have a million things to be grateful for. And I think like that's also a big thing. Like your why is like, I'm grateful for being in this opportunity or having this opportunity, so I'm gonna make the most of it instead of like complaining. Because the complaining really does become a reality, in a lot of cases. But yeah, really good points. And lastly, what would you say? I guess it's kind of like this is more of like for whoever's watching or listening. But what would you say is like your advice? Like if you were to give like another student advice.
Going to Korea University specifically, or just life
No.
advice?
I would advise to study abroad in South Korea. That is, but no, that's not what I'm saying. Just like general advice. It doesn't have to be necessarily someone who's a student, but just like anybody who's like, just any advice that you would give.
General advice. I think just like look at things with like an I can do it mindset. Like I feel like just saying stuff like, oh, I could never study in South Korea, or like that sounds so difficult. Like how can I make friends here? I think you just need to say like, it's like difficult, sure, but it's possible. You can do it. We just got sent here to South Korea without knowing anything. Like
that is true.
I think you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
That's fire. That's a very good point. How did you feel like when you saw that you had to, like you applied to UNC and you had to go to South Korea in order to like come back?
I was like really shocked. I like for out of state, like it's low-key like impossible to get into UNC. So I just opened the letter. My parents weren't even there. I just opened it randomly because I was like, no way I'm like getting in. And then I
Yeah.
saw, I'm like, I got in and
Yeah.
I'm going to Korea. Like, what?
Yeah.
But I was really excited. I'm like, it's embarrassing, but I'm like a really big K-pop fan. So
Yeah, that's
I was
not
like,
crazy. That's
I'm about
not
to like
crazy.
buy so many albums, go broke in Korea.
That's not crazy.
But yeah, I was excited. But like I wasn't like sure whether I was gonna go to UNC
Yeah.
like right when I got the acceptance letter. But it was like definitely one of my top choices. So I was like,
point.
I was
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, bro, why? At first, I was really trying to think of like all the possible ways. It's like, I'm so glad I got into UNC, but how do I get around this South Korea? I was like, bro, 4 months abroad is insane. I was like, I would never do this. I was like trying to figure out, oh, maybe I could go to like a community college and then transfer. Like I was trying to find so many ways around it, but it's like, I think over time, like, because I really wanted to go to another school and I was waiting to hear back from them. But it's like, over time, I kind of realized like, this is a huge opportunity. Like,
Yeah.
what other school is going to give me this opportunity? And you get to go with other people from UNC.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be different if you just got shipped off by
Yeah,
yourself.
that
Like,
would be a little
I
scary,
could not
but-
imagine being here without like all you guys. But yeah, definitely. Like the open-minded concept. Like, I'm glad that I was open to it because I feel like being here, like this would probably be like a new aspect of my identity. Like it's like being here, I've learned so much, I've grown so much in so many different ways, and I feel like I've changed a lot, like for the better. So yeah, definitely being open-minded because that literally opens more doors in your life. That's a good point. And then I would say for my advice is, I would say find your roots. Like in terms of like what we talked about, find something to be grounded in. You know, like a lot of people, like obviously for me, like I would give a biased opinion and say find your roots in Christianity or in faith, but in general, just find your why, find your roots. Like instead of just doing things just because, or just like, oh, I'm young, I can, you know, make my decisions now, I'm not under my parents' roof, but just like find a reason why you do things. It kind of motivates you, it drives you, not just to live life for fun, but to actually live with the purpose, you know, because I feel like if you're just living just to have fun, just to experience, and not actually seeking some sort of goal or purpose, then like you're not living a fulfilled life. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, yes, have fun, go out, do the things you want, go to karaoke, sing by yourself and all that. But oh yeah, Zoe loves to do karaoke by herself. But it's not crazy. I low key need to try that. I absolutely love.
My scores are really bad.
Wait, what are the scores like?
My score is like 85.
85 is a B. That's not bad, bro. The karaoke machines
I'm working on it.
They're low key rigged. Sometimes like you'll do amazing and you get like an 85,
0.
and then you do horrible and you get 100. It's just like
that's okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your go-to song if you're looking for like a high score?
My go-to song for like a high score. I don't get high score. I'll probably just sing like a Taylor Swift song because like
smart.
Yeah.
Mine is probably a Coldplay song. Either Yellow, Sparks obviously. Sparks is really fun to sing. But yeah, those are my favorites. But yeah, anyways, free will. You know, go out, have fun, but be rooted. You know, find something, like find your why. Like that's I feel like that's kind of the whole point of today's podcast. But yeah, and then the special question. So what was your favorite? Oh, you did say Wizard of Oz. What was your favorite like VeggieTales episode? Was it that one?
I think it was probably Wizard of Oz. That's the only one that I can like remember.
Really? You don't remember any other ones?
I don't know.
Okay, who was your favorite character?
That one. There was a cucumber and tomato.
Yeah.
Those are the main characters. I feel like I like the cucumber better.
Yeah, Larry was funnier. Bob was a little too serious.
Yeah.
A little bit too serious. More of a pessimist. But yeah, Larry's definitely number one. Larry's definitely number one character. But yeah, that's about it for the podcast. But thank you so much for being on the podcast. I really hope that obviously I'm gonna do this a lot here, but we can go back to UNC. Like I'm hoping to do this a lot more. So if you want to be on another one, let me know. And we'll get it going. Hopefully we can have more people on the podcast too and get like a better setup and everything. But yeah, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I'm so glad that you had this. Of course. All right. That's all for episode 2. Stay tuned. We're going to be dropping more going forward. If you haven't watched episode 1 or the intro episode, you should go do that first. But yeah. Sorry, I'm very tired. All right. Thank you. Fire.